Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Manchester City podcast. Man Them United pod meets the Man Them City podcast, where we discuss both Manchester clubs. Manchester City drawing 1-1 away at Arsenal. They were literally a couple minutes away from getting all 3 points at the Emirates. But we will be talking about Pep parking the bus, and he sarcastically spoke about it after the game as well. So, of course, we will be getting Veta's thoughts not only on the game, but also on Pep turning into Mourinho, Simeone, etc., etc. On the Manchester United side of things, 2-1 win against Chelsea. Amorim finally gets back-to-back wins at Old Trafford in Premier League games, but can he get 2 in a row in the actual league? So we'll be discussing all of those things plus more. So please, people, make sure you keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United or Manchester City related. That's Manchester United or Manchester City related. Want to make sure we get to your comment, people, super chat, because I've got a lot to say. You lot know I'm a talker, and Veta's got a lot to say as always as well. So let me bring him in, man, into the building. Man, like Veta Games TV is in the cut. Yes, Veta, what are we saying?
Yo, apologies on the change in location, but if you pay attention, you look around, you'll see where I'm at. I'm in the kitchen. So the cooking doesn't stop. The cooking will not stop. All right. So tune in, get comfortable. This is out of the norm. I'll be back in the studio, maybe later, see how the cooking goes. And let me know if my audio in the chat. Let me know if my audio is good. But yo, thanks for having me on, Wallace.
Of course, man. Every time I hear you clear. I hear you clear. Don't worry about that. But big up to Warrior J in the building as always. He's dropped many of the comments after the game. Pep talking about Haaland, Donnarumma. See what else he's saying? His tactics in the game as well. So shout out to Warrior J for that. Big up TJ, who just put here we fucking go. So shout out to TJ, who says that. Big up to Canal, says big up. Gaslighter Hype Tuesday. Big up to my guy Canal as well. Big up to You'll Never Walk Alone, says poor Pep. Makes you feel kind of sad for City and their tiny budget. It's just not fair. So people got their jokes and sarcasm ready. So you know what? We might as well start there. You was winning 1-0 at the Emirates till late. You know what I'm saying? Till very red. And the Martinelli goal has then caused you to drop 2 points. So your thoughts on the overall game, because there's a lot to dissect, and I'm sure you got plenty to say. So floor is yours, Veta.
Listen, it was a lot to digest, and I'm going to start with the first thing, going into the game. The energy, the conversations, people already positioning and saying what's going to happen, what the outcome might be, even before the ball got kicked. I was told this ain't the normal City. I was told that City aren't what they used to be. Obviously, we're not the Centurion City. Obviously, we're not the 4 trophies in one season City. I know you guys don't rate that, but we did the formidable. And then we're not the treble. We're not the 4-peat City. So everybody was already looking like, this is Arsenal's. Look at what they did last season, the 5-1. Flawless. Let me also rewind because I got to take it back. There's been a few, not you, although you like to ask your questions. There's been a few that have said,
I like to ask my questions. All right, okay.
You do. You like to ask your questions. There's been a few that have been like, where is Pep? Is Pep past it? Does Pep always need to have the better team? When he doesn't have the better team, he doesn't have success. My manager hears all of this, and you know I hear all of this. So whether Pep's seeing my messages or not, I keep letting, hey, Pep, this is what they're saying about you. Hey, Pep, this is how they're trying to knock you down because they know how much of a threat to Sir Alex Ferguson you are. My manager was questioned whether he can adjust, whether he can adapt. That starting 11 did not surprise me. It was the same 11 that have played 2 games prior. I saw that in the United game. I saw that in the Napoli game. It didn't surprise me because when Pep finds something that works, he's going to continue to run it. Sorry, we got to make sure I don't. When you're cooking, you got to make sure you don't burn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't burn anything. To anyone in the chat, Veta is currently cooking, like legit cooking in the kitchen. That's why he's not in his usual self. Go on, carry on as you would.
So my manager's been questioned on what that 11 would be. Is he going to be adaptable? Is he set in his ways? So he kept the same 11. But what did the master do? There's always a master and a Padawan, right? There's always the Jedi and the Padawan. There's always a master and the pupil. So the master did what was teased at. I'm gonna be listen to me clearly. It was teased at, but it wasn't done like this. Because 2 seasons ago, City went to the Emirates and conceded possession. Nothing like this. Don't get me wrong. Not 32%. Nothing like that. But we conceded possession. But at the same time, you know when we did that, Arsenal fans got short-term memories. All they remember is what happens today. When Pep did that, we had the likes of Rodri, KDB, Ballon. We had monsters. Foden, we had monsters. And he chose to play that way versus the pupil. Now, we're not even like that team 2 seasons ago. Let's be real. We're not the trouble. We're not the 4-peat winners. Pep was like, I got you 2 seasons ago. You got me last year, that 5-1. I didn't forget that. So you know what? I'm gonna concede possession again. But he didn't go out into the game that way. He resorted to that after the fact of going a goal up, and obviously with an injury to Kosanov, who was locking that wing down.
He played well. He played very well.
Check the timeline. Everybody wants to talk about, Pep set up this way from the get-go. No, he didn't. Pep adjusted throughout the game because he lost. My man got stepped on, to be real with you, and there was no card. Kosanov got stepped on his foot, tried to play it through, and he couldn't. He got subbed on. And what did Arsenal do? Like any club, you're going to attack Nunes, right? We've seen Nunes make his mistakes. They're going to attack Nunes. Pep was like, you know what? I'm not going to give you that many opportunities to attack Nunes. Let me drop the line back a little bit. Let me see whether you can break us down. And you know what? I was disappointed, Flawless. I was disappointed.
What was you disappointed in? Your boy Arteta's team lineup. What was you disappointed
for the pupil, the man that hasn't taken Pep's philosophy with regards to holding possession and being creative and breaking down low blocks. I was disappointed that for as many low blocks as Arteta has executed, that he hasn't figured out how to break down his own low block. You know what I mean? Like him going up against the master Pep putting this out should have been easy work for Arteta because he's been running that low block from time. So it was disappointing that he wasn't able to figure it out, but it reiterated what I say all the time. I say this all the time. Ladies in the chat, men in the chat, you know what it is. It is so difficult to create. It's tough to create. You want to create masterpieces of art. You want to create a killer song. You want to put down some lyrics. That takes a lot of time, right? You know what's easy to do? Lyrics on a paper, rip it, destroy it. Artwork, tear it down, break it down. It's easy to destroy. It's easy to break. Low blocks are simple. Low blocks are elementary, beginner stuff. When you have to create the most beautiful football, that's inspiration. That's what the beautiful game's all about. Now, Pep showed everybody, and Flawless, you had it right. He was cheeky, sarcastic, Sarcasm City TV, subscribe, like. He was like, listen, y'all have all these criticisms about me. Y'all say my style of play. How does it feel? How does it feel to see the most brilliant mind from a footballing attacking standpoint revert to the defensive side? I said this from time, Flawless. Well, don't let Pep ever put that genius on the defensive end. You want to talk about haram and you want to talk about disgusting football? Don't let that brilliant mind apply it defensively. Oh my gosh. That was a game that needed to play out the way it was. And let's not ignore. Let's not ignore. We scored against a defensive setup to begin with. Arteta.
That team. Arteta's a criminal. Just want to say that, absolute criminal.
Hey, I don't want to say too many bad things about Arteta. Former assistant manager.
You saved it for A-listers. Don't worry, man. Make sure you check out A-listers from yesterday. Done this Sam. Veta put in a man of the match performance on an A-listers. A1 man of the match. Like it was ridiculous for when the show was like 2.5 hours. Yeah, Veta was on smoke, people. Go watch A-listers after this. I'm done with some shut up.
Mind you, the early part of the show, maybe about an hour, was Hussam heartstrings begging, pleading for Salah to finish third or better. And his heart his heart was crushed because Mo Salah finished not better than Sadio Mane, not better than Kane.
Is he froze on your end or is it me, people? Let me know. Let me know.
Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah, froze. Go on your back. Go on your back.
Okay.
I think it was your end. You were talking about Sam pleading about Mo Salah. You cut out just there.
He was pleading. He was begging. He was like, Mo, you got to finish better than fourth. I want to see you finish better than fourth, because he saw Sadio Mane, he saw Haaland, he saw KDB, he saw Jorginho all finish better. So he was praying, because that's one of those lyrics that he can't apply. That's one of those things that he just can't flex with Mo Salah. So, hey, it was a disappointing night, but the first hour of the show was him, all in hopes. The second hour, we were cooking.
Yeah, you was cooking both hours. I can't lie, man. You was cooking both hours. So was you pleased with? Oh, not pleased. That's the wrong word. Was you okay with Pep? Yeah. Was you happy with Pep's approach and him going defensive? Because that's obviously new to you, because we don't see Pep. Were you happy for him to give up possession, considering how the game you ended up conceding late? Because to me, they're not there for the taking, but you have the players to go and score a second goal, and that kills the game dead.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not frozen. But I was, so like I said, I was happy with the starting 11, because I was like, okay, this is what we did. United, Napoli.
The starting 11. I'm talking about his defensive approach.
His adjustment throughout the game. Yeah. So the adjustment throughout the game now, I was, and I'm going to keep the same energy. The same way I was criticizing Arsenal fans that didn't want to hear it. They were like, oh, you're salty because you didn't get the win. No, listen, I'm consistent. When I take a second, because I'm a writer. I don't freestyle like Jay-Z. When I take a second and I jot down my notes, I'm crafted. I know exactly what I want to say. There's no mistakes. There's no fumbling. There's no word placement that's not supposed to be there. So when I said Arsenal missed out, they missed out and played way too defensive, even though they were a man down. Taking off Saka and being defensive, I didn't agree with that, because you had no outlet. The same energies I had with my manager. I think he should have kept on the attacking threat a little later in that game, but he couldn't have. And it came out press conference that Haaland, and I know you always want to take your shots, but Haaland raised his hand and said, I need a sub.
Yeah, but he didn't train. That one's different, because he did. It says here he didn't train. 1 second. I don't think he trained the game before. Let me have a look at it. Yeah, recovery yesterday. Didn't training today. I didn't see him and the rest of the players yet, but hopefully he can be ready for next weekend. That's fair. In that Real Madrid game, you get through that pain barrier. Arsenal in September, I hear it, 6 games in. Champions League quarterfinal, you go through that pain barrier.
On top of that, I can't afford to lose Haaland. I don't have Marmoush. You know what I mean? So there's really no option. So I get it. Haaland raised his hand saying he needs.
Taking up Haaland, yeah, but you should have put on Oscar Bob, for example, or an attacking player.
And that's where I was like, I would have liked to at least had a little bit of an attacking threat, because I think Arteta was clearly going, let me just go after them. And I think they could have been exposed. Now, granted, we could have been up 2, maybe 3 goals, because Reinders, clear on goal, kicked it right to Rhea. I was like, I wish he showed me some composure. You better have a good composure rating on EAFC coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna be there. And then when Haaland was going down and he had Foden with him, I thought he should have squared it. So I'm going to say at least should have been 2-0. And we left too much room for Arsenal to get back at us. And it's a matter of keeping somewhat of an attacking threat. But throughout the game, I know, like Reinders, he's going to become more consistent, but he played well, in my opinion. He obviously got the assist. He did a chance to score.
He's a very good player. I'm impressed.
Very good. And again, like all players, right? And again, I mean, he doesn't catch the heat, rightfully so, because he's not a transfer record. But like all players, he needs to get adjusted. And
I don't think he's catching heat. I think he's been one of your better performers. Even the games you've lost. No, I think he played like the Brighton game, for instance. I thought he played well in that.
He did, but when we look at the losses, he did look poor in the Spurs game. He did look poor in the Brighton game. So it's just a matter of being consistent. So
he did in the Spurs game. Brighton game, I thought he was decent with the Spurs. But yeah, the Spurs game he was. But go on, carry on.
Yeah. So when I talk about my manager, I was disappointed that he didn't keep on an attacking threat. But again, when I looked at the bench, his option would have been Savinho or Oscar Bob. And for him to choose Savinho and not Oscar Bob, I'm not too mad at it. I mean, this can't be ignored, and it's real. Arsenal do have incredible depth. They do have great depth, and the options that they were able to bring on to continue to attack. Martinelli, I know as much heat as he's been catching, but him bringing him on was a game changer. And him going over the top is where I wish, because I believe like Eze probably released that ball halfway on his side of the pitch, and it just gave them too many opportunities. I think Donnarumma was obviously caught. Do I go? Do I not? And then
you blame him for the goal.
No, but I do
think it's a mistake. You don't think that's a keeper mistake? I think that's 110% a keeper mistake. It's not solely on him, but Donnarumma is a very good goalkeeper.
I think
it won't go down as an error, but to me, that's a goalkeeper mistake. You should. I think
had he been on the line, then he would have been obviously, or had he drifted back, because he would have had to backtrack, right? Had he continued to backtrack and given his defender a little more time to continue to keep up with Martinelli, is probably him looking back at me like, that's what I would have done differently. But then at the same time, I'm like, when you think of surrendering a tactical foul or last defender potential red, this is where I was looking at the defenders like, you guys you can't let that run. You can't let him go past you and run behind you. So some things that could have been prevented. But yeah, Donnarumma, more familiarity with the defensive line. I think that type of mistake doesn't happen often. But it's Arsenal, man. They're challengers for a reason. I'm going to go to Emirates like all previous seasons when I'm going to title challengers or contenders. I'm going to try to win, but if I leave there with a draw, I can't be too upset. If I go there wanting to get a draw, that's a madness. But my club, my manager, my players went to play for a win, and they happened to get a draw leaving there. Arsenal fans trying to bring the same energy that they did 2 seasons ago or last season. Just stop it, guys. You guys are fighting so hard to try and prove to yourselves. Let me be honest, Arsenal fans. You're not trying to prove it to me. I hear how you guys talk. You guys are talking out loud. You're talking in front of the mirror. You're trying to prove it to yourselves like you have the mentality. You don't yet. You get the mentality because when you do it and prove it, you haven't proven it. You haven't proven anything yet. So this game right now, 1 point gain or 2 points dropped, however you want to look at it. Same goes for Arsenal. The difference is if I was at my Arsenal-esque health, fitness, there's no way I'm saying this league's over. Not even close. Many Arsenal.
Why are you saying Arsenal fans are saying the league's over?
They're already talking about like, oh, if we can't, they're already talking like if the manager can't get it right versus Pep in this city, how's he going to be able to continue on for the remainder of the city in Champions League? So Pep did expose Arteta. Like, let's be clear, because Arteta expected.
Pep exposed Arteta. Talk to us.
Yeah, because you have to. You don't necessarily have to have subs to change how you play. Mm-hmm. And many Arsenal fans want to be like, oh, it should have been more attacking. More attacking doesn't always mean like 2-3 different personnel changes. It's actually looking on how you want to apply, whether it's pressure, whether it's attacking patterns. This is it. Arteta, and I've been noticing it, but I kept quiet. Arteta's been trying to manage these games. His load management, him pacing out the season, is having a comfortable, risk-averse first half. He's been shown, like the pattern is, listen, you guys aren't going to threaten me with any goals. I'm going to set up defensively. If you guys are going to break me down, it's going to have to be something wonderful, which it was for us. Shout out to Holland, most prolific striker you and I and everybody in the chat has ever seen. No question. So when you have something special like that, Arteta's like, you're going to have to do something like that to beat me. And then the second half, I got my weapons, I got my options. Obviously, he's been playing with no healthy Saka. He's been playing with no healthy Odegaard. He's looking to win games in the second half. It didn't go right because, again, the Jedi Master taught the Padawan another lesson. If you expect one thing, you still have to be ready to adjust. And he adjusted too late. He adjusted in the second half.
That is true. He did because he expected City to be like, oh, but that midfield's terrible. Arsenal's title race was over before this game anyway, but that's a whole different conversation.
Arsenal's title race is what?
It's over. Beforehand. When I say that, not them being in the race, let me clarify that. I'm talking about them winning. Sorry. Let me clarify that. Them winning the league was over before it started.
Because of how dangerous Liverpool are?
No, because of Arteta. Arsenal have a squad to win the league. Arteta is the biggest problem. The team is there.
Well, listen, and we'll talk about the United City time, but TJ knows this. TJ, if you're in the chat, Arteta out. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Arteta
no, man,
out.
you're on the wrong thing. Arteta in, man. You're on the wrong.
Wait, why is it Arteta in?
Because he's doing a fantastic job at Arsenal.
But because he's doing well, don't we want him out?
Yeah, I don't care about the best interest of Arsenal. I want the West for Arsenal, which is Mikel Arteta. So Arteta in. What do you mean? This guy.
All right.
That team and that squad is good enough to win a Premier League. If they get a serious manager, they could be a problem. Because they have the tools to win a Premier League. They have the tools to win a Champions League. Their biggest issue is Mikel Arteta.
Listen,
that's why I'm Arteta in, because the fact, and it is like Arteta is the guy who is their biggest. I said this before the season started, and that lineup he put out against you is criminal. Criminal.
How many changes would you make of that lineup? Wouldn't it have just been one?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't say it's criminal.
But the reason why I say it's criminal because of the message it sends.
Okay, I hear it.
It's a message thing. Even though it's only one change and it's a slight change out of a whole 11, it's the message it sends. Of I am scared to lose. I'm not gonna go for the win. Because had he played Eze in the 10 and been more attacking, maybe they win the game.
Yeah, maybe. You understand the fear though. You understand the fear.
I get but you can't be fearful at that level. You can respect your opponents, yes. Hence why you have a back four and 2 DMs. That should be enough. If you trust your defenders, you have the best defense in the league. You should trust it against any attack. Yes, Haaland is quality. Yes, City have other attacking players of quality out there. However, you have to trust your defense. It can't be Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice. We're the best defensive unit in the league. I trust it to defend them.
I hear it.
Trust it.
I hear it. So it's got me looking sideways at this defense now, though. Because
whose defense? Arsenal's defense.
Well, Arsenal as a team, yes, I rate the defense. But now that center back pairings got me thinking, is it really that nice? Or is it the team that's allowing this controlled low attempts?
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think those two as a centre-back partnership would be fine even if Arsenal were being more attacking, but the way they set up helps them also. But trust them to defend. That's why you bring them in. This is why it can't be, Gabriel's the second best centre-back in the league and Saliba's the third best centre-back in the league. I'm saying these are things that have been... Trust them then. If they're 2 and 3 individually, trust them. If Timber, who I believe is one of the best right-backs in the league, trust him to defend it. Rice is 100 million. Trust him. Zubimendi is supposed to be that guy. Trust him. This is why you've spent big money on these players and why they're on the big wages they are. Give them, and then if they fall short, then you look at it and go, hey, Saliba, you was not good enough. Gabriel, you was... Timber, you didn't do the business. Rice, you didn't do the business. But it's on the manager. It's cowardly. Because he did it, just because he did it against Bilbao don't mean it was the right thing to do. Did it against Liverpool. Who made the point? Lee Judges made the point on AFTV. Shout out to Lee Judges every single time. Everton put more of a fight at Anfield than Arsenal did.
That
true. Should never be the case.
That's true, but it's a
because they didn't even go for it. They just had some attacking intent. Granted, the first half wasn't the best, but second half they went for it. Fell short because of quality, but
hold on. Let me ask you this.
Go.
Are you cowardly if you choose to block going in the ring versus Mike Tyson?
No.
Right.
Be pragmatic in instances in the fight. Don't be pragmatic for the whole fight.
But
Be
I think
pragmatic at moments.
but we got to change. I think we got to change how Arsenal and Arteta, and I should say Arteta's Arsenal. Arteta's Arsenal, their approach is, again, this is not a shot. Don't get upset, Arsenal fans. You know that this Arteta Arsenal looked to score through set pieces, and there was a high number. There was a high number of corners in that game. When we say cowardly, maybe it's his different approach. And many Arsenal fans were actually celebrating the fact that they were so proficient at corners. And
which is good. That should be an addition. That shouldn't be your main plan of attack. It's not like you don't have the weaponry. If you didn't have the weaponry, I'd understand. You have attacking players. Arsenal on paper have one of the better attacks in the league. Utilize it. You spent big money on this attack.
But here's the thing. A couple things were fugazi, right? A couple things came to light, right? We let some time pass, and then the truth reveals itself. Arsenal fans lived it up. They were like, oh yes, 5-1, 5-1. They knew it was a spark. They knew it was just a splash in the pan. I'm in the kitchen right now. They knew it was just a moment. So they made the most of it. But they knew that 5-1 wasn't real. They knew that 5-1 wasn't replicated. So a manager like that, setting up not to attack, because again, if we were really that vulnerable, if our defense is really that poor, if our attack really shouldn't be rated like that, Arteta of all managers shouldn't have set up so defensively against this.
Yeah, at home you shouldn't set up that defensively at home to anybody.
I hear it.
If you are one of the better teams in the league and one of the best teams in Europe, and I'll say this now, which Arsenal are. Arsenal are one of the better teams in the Premier League and one of the better teams in Europe. They should not be at home against anybody setting up with that midfield and setting up that defensively. There needs to be more offensive intent, not playing for the draw. And to AF, it says, the problem is when Arteta did it, you guys slandered Arsenal and all their fans keep the same energy and stop waffling. Here, the thing is, the reason why I slander Arteta is because he don't win a trophy. You win a trophy, guess what? That shuts me up. That's why for the last 3 years, is this the 4th year, I've sat on this very platform and many other platforms, and when Arsenal are not winning any major honors with a Mikel Arteta in charge. And I've been told, you hating, or you just hating because you're a United fan. You don't know what you're talking about. Arsenal will never win a Premier League or Champions League with Mikel Arteta in charge. And I've been saying this for 3 years. I know you ain't saying that. That's cool. And you doubted me when I said the last 3 years they wouldn't. And look what happened. Lo and behold, 0. He does not have the skill set to do so. He does not have the mindset, even though the mindset comes under skill set. So AF and to other Arsenal fans can get as mad and upset or disagree all they want. Go win a trophy, and that shuts me up. You know what I'm saying? Go shut me up. I agree with that playing 5-5 is crazy, same like Arteta did. Here the thing is with that though, with Pep doing that, and this is me saying this about Pep. And that wasn't aimed at you, AF. That was just Arsenal fans in general who always criticize me for criticizing Arsenal. It's like, go win a Premier League or Champions League because the team is good enough. You should have one anyway, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, with the 5-5-0, should Pep have done that? No. I think Vater's already said that. I don't think he should have done that. He seemed very sure. I think he should have, but it's a one-off. He's made a mistake. So you kind of like, all right, you made a mistake.
Now, I'll also be completely real with you guys. Here's the thing. Hear me loud and clear, rivals, especially Arsenal fans. Pep, with this city healthy, you don't see that. I'm going to be honest with you. If Pep was able to bring off Haaland, bring on a Marmoush, or even have Shirky as an option, we don't play like that. I'm going to tell you that right from the jump. And another thing is, sometimes you got to read the timeline. You got to see how things played out. We played our style of football when we had the personnel. When we lost Kostanov, and I know you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, Kostanov, what does he really mean to you?" Look at the pace of this player. Look at what he was able to provide at right back. He's a center back. He's playing out of position. But we had a certain style of play with who we had on the pitch. When Kostanov came off, he got stepped on. Should have been a yellow. He got stepped on and wasn't able to play in the second half. And we can't afford to lose him. We can't afford to lose Kostanov. So I get why Pep sold them off. And now we have Mateus Nunes playing at right back. Completely different style. We can't be as risky as we want it to be. So I get Pep being like, you know what? yeah, let me support this player. Let me go banks of 5. And we went banks of 5 late. We went banks of 5 late, even when we did that versus United. Ake came on, and Ake was like, helped with that back 5, and we went 5-4-1. And the same thing happened when he came onto that pitch, and we then even brought on John Stones. So this is only based off of personnel. Healthy, we don't do this. That's what I'm saying. That's why I get upset. That's why I'm like, listen, I recognize, and I chilled out. I was like, you know what, Vader. Sometimes I do say Vader. Like, Vader, relax. Listen. It's a sign of respect. Teams coming out here choosing to defend in my house, I get it. Listen, my home cooking, I know where everything is. I wet the pitch just the right amount. I cut the grass just the right amount. I play my style. Okay, I get it. But when I go to your house, and you're still defending like this, it's a sign of respect. I get it.
So you think Pep played the 5-5-0 not because he was scared, but because of the injuries and the lack of options, should I say, you lot have? Lack of options.
It's the lack of options, 100%. And what every Arsenal fan, you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you. You don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you. There is something said about when you play your matches. There is something said about you playing on a Tuesday and us having to know that and manage then playing on a Thursday. Because the players that we had available, how they were able to still, again, my manager's got to try and prevent any injury while also trying to win this game. So if any players on the red line, right, if they put in a little too many kilometers on those feet, we had to manage it because I can't afford to lose. I can't afford any more players to drop. Look how brilliant my players look when they're healthy. Foden healthy is back to Foden. Foden is back to folding all these players up when he's healthy. And listen, it's appropriate because full transparency. I would have been in the studio, but this stupid Windows 10 to Windows 11 had my whole thing messed up. So it delayed my whole day. But I'm in the kitchen, and it was talked about a little earlier in the week, obviously on a previous show. And Flawless, the man that he is, says, you know what? When I see players play, I give them their props. When players fall off, I say that they've fallen off and they're not playing. If I get everybody healthy, I know, Flawless, I know that I'm contending for this title. That's why I had that confidence to start the season.
You were confident. You have predicted City to win the league from the jump up until this point. I'll give you that.
Especially, Flawless, especially when I look out, you know what I mean? I'm looking out, I'm like, wait, y'all need that many extra time minute goals to really have this record? Y'all ain't gelling like that? If I was healthy, I'm still a lot closer to being it. I had that confidence. Now, it's still a long season. 5 games have been played, so I'm chill. But the confidence to be like, I know City can get in there. I know City can get back into competing. And if it shout out to World Athletics Championships that just happened. Now, it's one thing when you're running by yourself. It's one thing when you know you're running by yourself and you're just coasting in. It's another thing when you hear those footsteps. You hear that breathing. You know that closing speed's coming. So this is what I want for City, and to see what Liverpool are made of. See whether Arnie can manage someone actually being on his shoulder to close out this season. So we'll see what happens being healthy. Arsenal, to be honest with you, the 1 point's not the end of the world, because for them, mentality-wise, they haven't lost again. They haven't lost the City for 5 games now. We know how they like to flex that. They haven't lost for 5 games. So the confidence for them and the fan base can be like, you know what? We're advancing. We're not as poor as we used to be. Look, City haven't beaten us in 5 games. So we got what did I say wrong?
You didn't say anything wrong. The delivery was funny. That is their energy in regards to it. I didn't say, if I thought he was lying, I would have interrupted. Right.
You know what? Whether I'm lying or not, you do interrupt, but that's when we do the crossovers.
That's what I'm saying. If I disagree, that's the correct term I should say. If I disagreed with what you said, I would have interrupted. There we go. Well, you're right. They do flex it. They do flex that you haven't beat them in 5 years. But you're not worried about City being 8 points behind Liverpool.
8 points.
Yeah, I'm asking.
8 points is light work, Flawless.
Really? You thinking it's light work? Because you're not performing at your. Obviously, you're expecting City to get better, yes, but they've been poor and yet are still winning games. So what happens when, like, you expect City to get better? Liverpool fans expect Liverpool to get better.
So let me say this: I expect City to get healthy.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Which also includes better. The same way Liverpool, they expect their players to gel and to get better. Like they expect Wirtz to get better, for example, Gakpo to get better, Salah to get better. Isak's not played yet, but they expect these lot to get better. In particular, their forward line.
The thing
is also Frimpong. Go on.
Flows, you know this. Listen, I don't know if it's coming up on camera, but I got platinums for a reason. I've circled this. I've circled this sun for many years now. One thing that you have to understand is all these Liverpool fans are talking about like, oh, we haven't gelled yet. Just imagine until we gel. So what are you telling me? You're going invincible?
Some of them are saying that. Crab said that yesterday.
Oh, Platinum said that?
Yeah, Platinum Rasta. Yeah. Platinum Crab, shout out to you. He said it yesterday. Ends, I'll tag you. Ends was watching Shout Out to Football with Ends. Make sure you subscribe to Beijing Reds TV. Check out that show because it was hilarious. The clip's out there. I'll tag you on Twitter because Ends tagged it. He said they're going invincible. He said that.
Okay. That's a conversation for a totally different show.
But the overall point I'm making is to say, Liverpool fans are very confident of winning the league and not losing. I'll say this, not losing a lot of games.
That's all calm. That's all calm. Now, I find it interesting because, Platinum said he's going invincible. Like it's just some things you just said. I don't know what his toxicology was like. Maybe he had a couple sips or something, but I'm gonna leave what he said alone. The invincible talk is wild to me, but this is the premise. This is the thinking. Because Liverpool fans want to say,
he said, "Please stop, please." Here we go. Big up TJ. TJ, in regards to what, let us know, like what you're talking about in particular. Sorry, go on, carry on.
Yeah, what's he saying stop for? The thing that we have to recognize is Liverpool and this logic. Liverpool fans in this logic. We haven't even gelled yet, and look how we're playing. Okay, you haven't gelled, and you're playing this way. So what are you telling me? When you do gel, you're not losing a game.
They're saying they're gonna get better. Obviously, you can lose a game because you can get better in a one-off performance. But they're saying their overall performance, they expect to get better over the rest of the season, type of thing. Which I do agree with them, unfortunately. I don't think they'll be this poor this season.
But here's the thing, and this is so clever. This just sometimes things just fall in your lap. Of course, they're gonna have to play better because certain players aren't playing well right now.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, they're going to have to play better because certain players just aren't doing what they were supposed to do joining this team. Agreed. Now, does it mean that when they start playing better that everyone to a man also plays better? Because you can have, you can have a one player improve their level, not look as poor as they've been looking, but then that's at the detriment of other players on this team. I'm hearing right now, a certain player can't quite do what he does because other players occupy the same place that he wants to occupy. So,
which is the fact you do have to figure that out because like the strikers they have want to operate where Wirtz wants to operate. So that is on. Beijing Pops keeps saying this. He's looking at the man in the dugout. That is on not only the players to figure out, but the manager's got to figure that out. But it's a great problem to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. Yeah. So
to have talented players in your team and try to figure out how to fit them all in one side and figure that you got to sort that out.
What I know very well is because you can't have, and shout out to all my nature nerds out there. You can't have all queens in the hive. You need worker bees, and you can only have one queen. You look at a chessboard, you can only have one king. You got to have some pawns. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up taking some of these pawn, bishop, rook roles and who remains or who becomes the king. Is there a new king that needs to happen over at Liverpool, or does the same king remain? So this is all I've been waiting, sitting back,
Figure out,
seeing. Okay, let's see how these additions work out. Let's see how the egos get managed, who gets dropped and do what. So it's a long season. It's a long season.
It is a long season. Go on.
I'm going to say this: Liverpool should improve. Players on that team should improve. They're not going to beat it.
And I think they'll be better. Trust me, I don't want them to be better, but I think they'll be better because of it. Before we continue, though, over 40 of you lot in the building, run up the likes. Get us up to 40 likes because we're only at 25 actually. So let's get us up to 40 likes. Make sure you share this out across all the socials as well. And yes, it's Flawless at Sarcasm City TV across all socials, Twitter, Instagram, etc. And just as important, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell right here on Sarcasm City TV. Subscribe to Veta Games TV. The link is in the title. It's underneath in the description. It's on the featured channel page. Or if you don't want to be lazy, just go to your YouTube search bar and type in Veta Games TV, and that way you can subscribe to Veta's channel. Recently just went past 1K. Get your questions in. Keep them United or City related. Again, I've got plenty to say. As you know, as you can see, if you're new here, Veta has plenty to say. So if you want to make sure we get to your questions, super chat people. Whether it's a great question, I get to it, or a great point. But yeah, United or Manchester City related. Big up TJ, I see you. And I was going to ask for something else, but he's just gone a second. In regards to Manchester United, no, he's back. There we go. Vey is back. He over there cooking. So Vey, I was just looking at your fixtures because you're 8 points behind. You're saying it's not a lot. I think that is a concerning amount, is what I'm saying. It's a concerning amount. And I'm looking here at your fit. So these are your next 5 because you played Liverpool in 6. Burnley at home. Obviously, you got Champions League. But I'm just going to go through the Prem. These are your 5 league games. So you've got Burnley at home, Brentford away, Everton at home, Villa away, Bournemouth at home. Then you play Liverpool at home. Do you need to win your next 5, in your opinion?
See, Flawless, as a veteran, it's game by game, and I only need to win my next 5 if there doesn't have to be any slip-ups before that game versus Liverpool. So if they're happy,
what you saying, you have to match their results then, because you're 8 points. Because to me, why I'm saying that is because they're 5 games. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You'll look at and go, we can win 5 from 5.
Yeah, but right now I've already won. Right, I've already won. Well, I'm 2 games undefeated. Right, but I got to look at how I pace out, and the reason why I say you're a veteran, just like me, is I got to wait out and see. For me, really, the time where I'm going to be like concerned about this point gap is going to be post January. It's going to be post the holiday break, because I know how games can slip up during that holiday break. I also know that there's something coming up with AFCON, and it's about being within striking distance. 8 points for me isn't. I'm not stressing the 8 points right now. I'm not stressing the 8 points right now. I do, and I've been saying this for a minute. I want to stay within arm's reach. 8 points, 9 points. I'm kind of calm with that. Even if it'll fluctuate, I'm calm with that 8, 9 points. We'll see. We'll see what that pressure's like. Flawless. That pressure hits different, and I know they can. Listen, even going back to Klopp. Shout out to Klopp. You know, I'm no disrespect over there, but
I'm all for it. Go on.
No disrespect. He's only shown to be able to run away with this league, right? Slot has only shown that he can win this running away with this league. I want to see.
So you're talking about him in the natural title race, like close.
Yes.
But surely you can't play them and be 10 points behind them.
Well, if I play them in 3 points and then I break that down to 5, it depends on how many games are left. It depends.
I'm saying when you play, because you played them in 6 games. I'm talking about the net, because you played them 6 games from now. So that's why I mentioned that 5 in particular.
Wait, you're saying surely I can't be 8 points by the time I play?
You can't be 10 points behind them come that game.
Even then, it depends on how. It depends on how. Because there's a beauty in how they're winning these games. There is a beauty in how they're. So if they were winning these games and they were just stomping in the house and comfortably and like putting these teams aside, I'd be like, whoa, they're clear. But they do show to be vulnerable. And I know they'll get better, but it's how these games play out. I want to be within 8 points. I think 9, 10 is a little too much.
So
8 points.
So if you're 8 points, so let's say they win all their next. This is highly unlikely, people, but I can't be doing the maths. Maths is not my strong suit. So let's say Liverpool win their 5 beforehand, City win their 5 beforehand, and Liverpool and then City. Liverpool travel to City, and then you have 3 points to and sorry, you're 8 points behind them. If you beat them, you cut it to 5. So you're cool if it's 8, but once it becomes 9, 10 or more in November, going into Christmas, that's when you'll be like, all right, that's it. Or you don't want to be, you're already 2 wins and 2 draws behind them.
Yeah, like I said, actually, I'm comfortable. 9.
Yeah, because you mentioned this on A-listers. You said you want to remain within arm's reach. So it's 8 points within arm's reach to you. It's that arm's length where you go, all right, cool.
Yeah. 8, 9 points is what I'm cool with. I don't want to risk that being more.
You don't want to be double.
Okay. I also recognize the fact that did I freeze?
No. You're here. I'm listening. I'm locked in.
I also want to recognize that when I do play them, that game carries so much more weight. Mm-hmm. When I do play them, thank you to City, we'll make sure that the league ratings remain high because that's what we need to do. City and that game is going to have huge importance. We'll keep this league at the top like we're accustomed to. But I also, because again, they took that mentality monster. They took the mentality and made it a brand thing, but we were the originators. So I do take it one game at a time. And I hear in terms of the show having to try to project, but honestly, I want to deal with this one game at a time because they just played their League Cup. I didn't watch the League Cup, but they just played it. And again, it's also on how the manager is going to be managing these fixtures that are coming up. So
you got Champions League as well. There is a Champions League factor for both of you.
I'll just be a second.
Nah, no stress, man. Do your thing, man. All good, man. Handle business. All good. Hey, big up Nags. You says flawless on this question. What needs to happen for Liverpool to be bigger than Manchester United in your eyes? 2 more titles, 1 more Champions League, fan base goes bigger, etc. It's mad because Beijing Pops mentioned this on the show, United Liverpool Barbados show yesterday. In regards to it, this is just bragging rights. Being the bigger club means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's about being a successful club. But in regards to your question, you don't have to dominate in the modern era for me to believe you lot will be bigger than us. The reason why Manchester United are deemed a bigger club is because we're always in a news cycle. Like people can debate which fan base is bigger. You lot have a couple more trophies than us. Yes, we're always in a news cycle. Whether we're Manchester United are first and flying, whether we're top 4, whether we're top 6, whether we're finishing 15th. We are a news cycle everywhere. We trend everywhere. We are a juggernaut everywhere. Simple as that. And I don't think that would change. I think that's over a sustained period of time. We were the first, and I'll put this, there was successful clubs before Manchester United, but we was the most successful team, like when football became, it's always been a worldwide sport, so it's hard to, but like in the social media, like we were the first team. Kind of like in rap right now, when you look at hip hop, like Kendrick and Drake are the 2 biggest rappers. There's rappers in the 80s and 90s that are better than them too, but they're not bigger. And that's where it stems from. We had the streets on lock, like we did. We had football on lock for years from 92 to 2013. It was us and us only. We had a 20-year dominant stretch. Yeah, there was times we might have dipped off at times, but then we came right back. Arsenal had their moments. Chelsea might have had their moments. City might have had their odd moment. But it was us. We was the dominant force. Like Veta talks a lot about ratings and stuff like that, and he's trolling when he says that. But where he is kind of right, where I agree with him is in a sense of we were just a poster child. Fergie was. Manchester United was. We the household name. We on TV everywhere, like breaking ratings and all that type of stuff. So that's what it is. But I just want my club to be successful. Yeah. Answer your question, ask your question, Warrior J, and I'll get to it. You lot continue to run up the likes and hit the subscribe button. as well. And yeah, that's what it is. I want my club to be successful. All this extra stuff I'm not really for. Like, people can debate all the time about which club's bigger and AC Milan's one of the biggest clubs ever. And they haven't been successful in a long, long time. I would trade being a big club for being a successful one. I just want my team to win. And people overlook that. And people don't, oh, you just never happy. And all the people always try that. No, I just want my team to give itself the best possible platform to succeed. And we don't do that. And that infuriates me. That annoys me. It's ridiculous. And the ownership and the manager and the players all play a part in that. And if they're not good enough, I'm going to call it out. Don't think just because I'm on here and socials and other big platforms that I'm thankful for. I was having these conversations before man was doing content creating. I had these conversations on the Fergie when teams weren't good enough. Same thing before Ollie, beforehand, etc. Like, who else did we have? Moyes hated the appointment. Absolutely despised that David Moyes appointment. Dreadful. The fact that we allowed that to happen is absolutely ludicrous. But that's a whole different conversation. That's why when people in the chat pop up and try and be like, oh, why are you so critical? It's like, why are you not? So I don't get. Why are you not? Why are you just, I just want wins, no performance? When is that acceptable? When was that acceptable? Just bring me wins. Don't care about the performance or how we get it. All right. Since when? Because I bet on the Fergie you weren't talking like that. So why is it okay now? Why is it okay to back this manager who's dreadful? Amorim's awful. And can he win 2 games in a row? No, I don't think he can win 2 Premier League games in a row. He just, with that win against Chelsea, won 2 Premier League matches at Old Trafford in a row. But he's awful, man. He's awful. Nah, it's all good, Nax. It's all good. Hey, big up to you as well, DJB. Big up. What's this? Flawless, my bad if it's not related to Manchester topic, but how was the Madrid game? The Madrid played very well. We'll get back to that when Vega's here. But yeah, Madrid played very well. Like, Alonso's got them. I've watched them twice now. They just look so much more balanced. Now, that was going to be the whole conversation, because I said this before the season started. Talent-wise, I don't think anyone can chat to their squad. I just don't think they're one of the better teams, though. But from a talent perspective, nobody has their bench. That man brought on Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Bellingham, Alaba, and there's another player I'm missing. No one's bench is that stacked. Like, who was the other player? They brought on someone else, but they brought on Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Alaba, and someone else. And I went, this is absolutely fucking nuts. Rodrigo, that was it. And Rodrigo. Most of them players take Alaba out of it because it is start for others. What are we doing? And they bringing them off their bench. They start for most other teams. So it was a question of just getting it balanced and getting it right. And he seems to have done that again. I've not watched him a lot this season. I only watched him twice, but I'm going to be watching him a lot more. The Madrid derby's on Saturday. I'm going to be watching them if they're the late game on a Saturday or there's not a good 3 p.m. kick. I'm going to watch them a lot more. But yeah, that's Vega's lookout, because he said he wants him. So yeah, good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? Good luck with that.
Listen, we're giving them a head start. They can do what they got to do. This is a rebuild for us.
They're gonna move to you, like. I'm telling you, like, now.
We'll see.
Yeah, this is the trust me. You know what I'm saying? You'll see, man. Because you said all this last time, and I said, all right, go run into Madrid, and we seen what happened there. So go run into them again. Good luck with it.
The best way to measure up where you're actually at is to play the best. So I don't want to.
No, you don't. I don't need to get in the ring with Mike Tyson to know I'm not a championship boxer. I can figure that out before that even happens.
No. But that's the problem. It's not. These are 2 professional boxers, though.
All right, then, cool. I don't need to go and what's the word I'm looking for? Who can I use now?
It doesn't matter.
No. I've got you. I'm gonna make an analogy that's gonna kill you. I'm just trying to put it together. I'm just trying to think. I'm like, when I watch and go, all right, cool. Yeah. All right, I don't need to go sit on a podcast with expressions to know I can't get with him verbally and lyrically.
No, okay, lyrically, no, but podcast to podcast, absolutely.
No, lyrically, but I'm saying lyrically, someone was like, yeah, you want to go back? Nah, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay, but
I don't need to know that's me, so but you need to match up where you are the best. And me, I anybody else in this space, I'll go back and forth with him. Nah, I'm good.
I'm just saying. I know that my standard needs to be that. So I want to see
Yeah.
how
Your
far
standard,
off.
we know it's not, but all right. But you need to go in there and get your ass kicked to see it. So all right, we'll be here when it happens, man. Don't worry about it.
And then
we'll
I know
here,
exactly what. But listen, the difference is when I see whatever my shortcomings are, whatever my inabilities are versus Real Madrid, I'm gonna go and write it, and then I'm gonna be back. That's it. That's the thing. What do you mean?
That's it. Should have did that in the summer, but that's a whole different conversation. But the point is, I'm making to bring on Rodrigo, Bellingham, Tchouameni, and Camavinga off your bench is crazy. And it's not like they got scrubs on the pitch.
No, it's true. It's true.
It's not like they had terrible players on the pitch and you go, all right, it was rested, man. Like Gula and Masantuno and Mbappe were out there. All right, and Valverde. Cool. You got to keep it with Madrid. I said this from a talent perspective. Chelsea fans trying to argue me down about Madrid them being better, like their team being better than Madrid talent-wise. All right, good luck with that. Just lost to Manchester United. And speaking of that, shout out Enzo Maresca. Absolutely horrendous performance from him. Absolutely, he's the main reason we won the game. We actually started off well, to be honest. Manchester United started off the game very, very well. For that first 5 minutes before that red card, moving the ball.
Let me stop you real quick. Everybody in the chat, if you did not see the watch along, I was in the backyard. I was doing some things. I was only listening. If you did not see the watch along, go back, check it out. Hear how these guys are talking before the match. Hear about what they're thinking of the lineup of certain players of the manager, and definitely the playback. It's absolute entertainment. Go and check that out. But yeah, sorry, Wallace. Go ahead.
You're a joke, man. Certified we was doing a Q&A. I can't remember which one it was. I asked Jez, but it was one of them Q&As. It was a solo one. And I just mentioned about the thing is I actually bigged up Chelsea. This is before the season had started. And the crazy part is I had bigged up Chelsea, but clearly it wasn't enough. Because all I said was, I was like, as I spoke about Madrid, now I said I think Chelsea are a better team than Real Madrid. But what I was saying was, I think Real Madrid have more talent. And people, Chelsea fans, not all of them in the chat, was upset at me saying that. Bear in mind, I didn't pinpoint Chelsea. I said I think Real Madrid have the most talented team in Europe. But I think at the time I said this, I said City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Barcelona, PSG. Yeah, it was those six.
You still believe that with Liverpool?
I think they're all better teams than them. I need to watch. This is why I'm going to start doing my research on Real Madrid. Okay. This is why I said I've only watched them twice, but I'm not going to draw major conclusions from that. But did they look? They played very well tonight. They played very well against Marseille, and they look like they were more balanced because in the Club World Cup they didn't look like that.
But and speaking of very well, this Chelsea games. Let me hear you speak on the very well of regards to United.
Yeah. So in regards to it, performed very well. Like I said, in particular, that first 5 minutes, moving the ball crisp, and something I've spoke about and I mentioned all the time is doing the basics. We have the striker who's built like a point guard in the NBA. He's 6'5" and can jump. So our goalkeeper got the ball and kicked it long to our striker who's 6'5" and can jump. And lo and behold, he flicks it on. And then one of our quick tens in Bremo, who we know is quick, runs onto the ball. Sanchez comes and cleans him out. Advantage Manchester United. 110%. Advantage us without question. And then Maresca just goes into full in panic mode. I have never seen somebody respond to going a man down in a big game so horrendously. And he did it multiple. All right, taking off Esteval and putting on a goalkeeper. Bringing on a goalkeeper makes sense.
I got to ask you, Flawless, do you think it was the manager adjusting for the manager he's playing against or the talent of United? What do you think sparked this panic?
I think because he just went down to 10 men and he's like, we're going to get battered. He forgot about who he was managing against, who the team was out there. He didn't take none of that into consideration. He just panicked and went full on defensive mode. Bear in mind, teams are capable of beating us with 10 men. Leon did it. People forget that. Go watch the Europa League game. I'll go one further in the Europa League game, people. That's a watch along you should go check back.
That was before Embuemo and Cunha.
No, it was before them, but the point is I'm making is that we can still. Cunha wasn't on the pitch.
Okay.
And it's like
Embuemo was.
Embuemo was on the pitch, cool, but other teams have shut us down. The point is I'm making is you see how Manchester United, it's not impossible to get a result against us with 10 men. That's the point I'm making. And as you've seen from the manager subs and Amorim side, he did his best to give Maresca as help. And if Maresca
that's Casemiro. That's Casemiro.
No. Casemiro's included in that, but we'll get to that. But I'm talking about his substitutions in the second half and his plan in the second half, which was survive. I can't believe I'm up 2-0. Let's survive rather than go out there and go, hey, you know what? Let's try and play football. And the crazy part is he's trying to survive and goes, I'm going to kick it long and then take off your 6'5" centre forward.
But even before he took off the 6'5" centre forward, you guys should have been up a goal even before that.
No, we was 2-0 up.
Yeah,
this was half time.
No, but other goals should have been scored even before he subbed.
Other goals should have been scored. This is why I put the majority of the blame of our performance, which I get to, which I think was horrendous, by the way, on the players. Okay. I expect nothing from Amorim. So I'm not even going to hold him accountable for nothing. It's like Ryan having a bad take. It's like, I don't expect nothing from him. That's no. You know what I'm saying? In that.
We're still hammering out, though. We're still hammering out.
Of course, we still know we on different boats. We established, and you Arteta in, so that's a conflict of interest. I mean, you Arteta out, so that's a conflict of interest. I ain't saying with no one who's arrived.
Arteta's not good enough. No, I'm like TJ's been telling me, Arteta's not good enough. So
yeah, and that's with TJ. Yes, I want the absolute worst for Arsenal Football Club. So Arteta not being good enough works in my favor. I am Arteta in, give him a whole new deal, give him a lifetime contract.
Flawless. See, here's where on 4K, in 4K, everybody in the chat, you see how Vader Games, first name Vader, last name Games, is balanced. I'm actually balanced. I've seen enough evidence now. I'm Arteta out. I've seen enough evidence. I'm Amorim out. But you can hear the agenda. You can see how flawless is Arteta in for his hatred of Arsenal.
That's not no agenda. They are a rival. I want the worst for Arsenal Football
Club. So shouldn't I be saying Amorim in then?
If you're a City fan, yes, I would be saying Amorim in if I was a City fan, but that's me. Hence why you did all this nonsense. Hence why and what's crazy is, you know how this guy's just full of absolute, I'm not going to swear because I know there's people around. You know how this guy's full of absolute rubbish? Because he tried to gash United fans up about Amorim because he knew United were going nowhere with him, and he did the same with Ten.
No. This is why I'm balanced. Everybody in the chat. I've seen the evidence now. We can put rivalries aside. You guys know I hate United. I hate Liverpool. Rivalry aside. Amorim has shown he's not good enough. This 3 days or 3 games to prove yourself, just a waste of time. Just put the man out of his misery. Arteta.
You know, Warrior J, you know what I'm saying? This is why this guy backed Ten Hag and backed because he knew they weren't good enough for United, and United fans were trying to champion it. But as I was saying, I expect nothing from the manager. So I'm looking at, all right, we're up a man against Chelsea. Just keep the ball ticking. You don't have to play any risky passes. Go left to right to left. Old Trafford's a big pitch. Make the pitch as big as possible. Chelsea are already rattled, and you just keep it ticking and keep the ball moving, and chances will get created. Through passes through the lines when it's on, that's where, when we won the ball back, when we pressed high, Maguire passed it into Bruno, and Bruno should have played Ahmad, but he played Sesko instead, and then Sesko was in a similar situation, and he should have played, I can't remember who it was, but he went one side and he should have went the other. And that's on the players, and it was disgusting. And go back and watch along. You hear me say it. This is absolutely horrendous. Awful. Playing against that. It's like fighting a boxer, and he can only, like, he's like got a shoulder. He's got a shoulder problem, and he can only throw with one hand. So he can only catch you with one shot.
It was right.
So you should. He can only catch you with the overhand right. His left he can't use. He can't jab. So he can only catch you with the right. It's useless. He can't hit you to the body. He can't hit you to the face. Nothing. All he can do is kind of like half block with it. That's it. And to play like that against 10 men and your professionals is absolutely disgusting. We didn't pepper the goal. Jorgensen didn't make save after save. Didn't create too many clear-cut chances. Didn't create too many half chances. Ridiculous.
Absolutely, you know what?
Absolutely ridiculous. Go on.
Here's what's really... A lot of things kind of got revealed in this game, though. Because again, Maresca's panic, being fearful or whatever, he must have seen some pattern of play or something that
you just said it there, Vader. Panic. Once you panic, you are not making clear-cut, logical, sensible decisions.
So here's the thing. So again, this is revealing then. If he panics versus this this form of United. If he panics versus Amorim, Chelsea fans, I know how Chelsea fans are. It's like Inception. They're already like Prescott. It's already
Javon rang me during the watch along. And said he said Javon rang me. Shout out Javon, Final Whistle podcast, part of the Yardman show as well. He rang me during the watch along and he said, I did say I was gonna ring you during the watch along. I'm a man of my word.
Oh, at the end of the show, at the end of the game.
No, I think it was during the game. It was towards the end, but it was during. And then he said, Maresca out, I'll chat to you on the show later. And he was like, I was mad about it, but he's like, I can't lie, that would make me turn against the manager. If my manager did that, that's a turning point. 100%. My manager did that, I can't, and I'm already looking at you funny for other things anyway. Yeah, that's...
Listen, Wallace, Chelsea fans, shout out to everybody in the chat, obviously, Platinum, you know what it is. Take a second. If you haven't, it's criminal. But Chelsea fans are like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang, right? That's what they are. Once they see one blemish, once they see something off, they're on to the next. So them being slutty with managers with this panic mode, I get it. The man just gave them a Club World Cup. He gave them obviously a Conference League. They're early, 5 weeks into the league, and they're already Maresca out. They are Eddie Murphy from Boomerang. It doesn't matter. They see one blemish, they're out the door.
Nah, that's a Conference League, that is disgusting, but go on, carry on.
Okay, well, you got to win what's in front of you.
Me and you could have managed them in that competition to win it.
Well, they happened to win it, and they took that momentum on and won the Club World Cup, which
the Club World Cup's an achievement, but I get it. But then again,
how quick has it been forgotten though? But this is it. How quick have they forgotten?
It's still there.
And now they're like, get them out.
You have to look at your overall performance as well, because people will talk about them finishing
5 games in, flawless.
No, I'm talking about last season. People will talk about them finishing top 4 last season. That was a struggle more than it had to be. Granted, he hasn't been helped. Say again?
He delivered top 4. Now they want to judge him on how.
No, he delivered, but there's a way to deliver top 4, though.
What?
There's a way to deliver top 4.
Not in the first year.
No, there is definitely. Of course, there is.
First year for the manager. Last year, this year.
There's a way to deliver top 4. There's a way, and this is where we have a difference in opinion in regards to that. There's a way to do things. Results alone don't work here. There's a way to do certain things.
That environment over at Chelsea, their player acquisition model and all this kind of stuff, Maresca having to be able to get them to finish top 4. Not only that, won 2 trophies in the same season. And now we got these Chelsea fans being like, 5 games in, I didn't like this game versus United. I'm out. Manager out. Hey,
I think I don't think it's just that game. I think it's multiple things. I think most people, I say most,
but flawless.
A lot of Chelsea. I think when a lot of people turn manager out, it's not just one thing. It's rare that happens.
I hear it. But this is where I fall back. I chill. I'm gonna lean up. I'm gonna lean up against the wall. I'm gonna be like, okay, let me hear what these guys are saying. Notice the laundry list of what they want to say to get this manager out, but they want to ignore the things that he had to manage to actually have them finish top 4. They ignore that list. They don't want to.
But I think some do, because I think I'll use Lewis as an example. For example, he's somebody who is he'll criticize Maresca, but he bigs him up for what Maresca's done, type of thing. But when you look at it, the pros and the cons, and I'd have to go more in depth, and a Chelsea fan would know more than me. It's not that far apart. Like their performance today, for example, I didn't watch. I heard it was horrendous.
Yeah, so was Liverpool's though.
Yeah, and if they're on the manager, I hear it.
What? Nah.
If they're on the manager, not in regards to getting him gone because he's just won the Premier League, but I'm saying in terms of critique. Shout out to Beijing Pops. He's been mentioning this since the start of the season in regards to their performances.
I get that.
Let me land here. He says, I'm looking at the man in the dugout. Of course, they're not going to say slot out, but it's, slot do better.
Okay.
You don't have that cash. Yeah, Maresca don't have that. You don't have credit like that. Slot does. Same way Pep does. If Pep don't win the league this season, you ain't going to be Pep, are you?
No, of course not. But this is where it. thank goodness, knock on wood, I'm not a Chelsea fan. But if I were a Chelsea fan, I'm not calling for Maresca out right now either. He should have credit in the bank because of what he delivered last season and finishing top 4. But he doesn't have it, and that's what's crazy to me. Now, when we talk about looking at the manager, I get all that. First thing, Liverpool don't need a manager to beat Plymouth, right? That goes on to the players. No disrespect, don't get triggered. But even with regards to United, Grimsby, that doesn't fall to the manager.
What did I say about that Grimsby game?
No, but my point is it's on the players. I agree.
Yes.
So now when we look at this game, what's that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with that. That's more so on the players, yes.
And now when we look at this game and someone to talk about the manager, them playing versus Lincoln, I don't care who he puts out there. Chelsea, you players get that result versus Lincoln. So I'm trying to keep consistent here. I find it, and again, I got no problems. They want their manager out after 5 games, and what he delivered.
Because even though the Lincoln game is on Chelsea players, even though the Grimsby game is mostly on United players, and Plymouth with Liverpool and with whoever, it's still on the manager because it's not a one-off type of thing. Like, you look at Chelsea's performances this season. You look at Lincoln. I'm looking here right now. So you look at Lincoln, where they beat us, Bayern, Brentford, Fulham, West Ham, Palace. Outside of West Ham, that's their only good performance. That's unacceptable and very telling.
That's
West Ham are one of the worst teams in the league. And bear in mind on paper, who are they outside of? So you got Palace, you got Fulham, you got Brentford, you got Manchester United, you got Lincoln. They're better than them. If you want to debate with Bayern, that's a whole different thing. Performances matter. If they would have got the exact same results and the performances were better, Chelsea fans would be being less critical. Okay. That's the point that's the point that I'm making, is in regards to, I was mentioning this yesterday on Man United when someone said to me, "Oh, it's results over performances." And I said, name me a team that has sustained success with terrible performances. Performances are an indication of where you're at, even if the results don't match it. If you're performing to a high level, chances are you're winning more games and you're competing for top honors. Chelsea's performances, let's eliminate their results. Their performances in those games have not been good enough. Adding the World Cup, that's in the plus column. Adding the technical directors messed them up the window. Because the window they had was ridiculous. And the technical
window, that doesn't fall to the manager.
The window was, and I agree, and the window is correct. And to me, the Chelsea board have said, we're cool with top 4. We're not trying to break into the top 3, which is not fine, but that's acceptable. But then when you look at last season and look at the way Maresca coached and performed at certain times, you go and had to go on a record run, which you give him credit for getting into the top 4. I'm just saying, performance-wise, they've not been high. They're one of the better teams in the league, and their performances have been nowhere near right.
Now, let me also bring some context, because this is why this works. That's why this dynamic works.
Yeah, go.
Chelsea, like City, didn't have an off season.
Mm-hmm.
This Club World Cup, as many want to kind of dismiss it because y'all weren't in it, but when you're playing in it, it's not. It does disrupt. It does interrupt the upcoming season. So when City don't look that good, when Chelsea don't look that good, you do have to put some context with regards to the Club World Cup. For Chelsea fans that are, again, they're saying thank you for the trophy, but they want to ignore the ramifications, right? The domino effect, I think, is unfortunate. Obviously, Cole Palmer is injured. Maresca, if he's managing this team, managing this club, with the owners clearly saying that for this year it's just a top 4, why crash on this manager? If their aspirations, if they built this team just to be good enough for top 4, let this manager cook. Let him try to figure things out before you're saying, get this guy out of here. Now, I agree. This game versus United, poor, right? This was poor decision. With what was shocking. Fair.
It's like I said, it's one of the worst performances I've seen from a manager, and I support Manchester United, who've had Ruben Amorim and Ten Hag in charge, and it's up there with them.
Okay.
In regard to just from an individual standpoint, like getting it wrong and getting it drastically wrong. Yeah. And I hear the Club World Cup, that takes a part in it, but then this is where that messes up. Palace, you draw 0-0. You then batter West Ham the next game 5-1.
Palace is a good team, though. Very good team.
Palace is. That's why I'm giving them acceptance. Palace is a good team, yes. You draw 0-0, so I hear the Club World Cup excuse. You just packed in West Ham and had a very good performance. Granted, West Ham are poor, so you can do better against others. Like I said, I think can't talk for I can't talk for Chelsea fans, but I think how they're looking at it and the ones I talk to, their issue is performances. Because that's the end, because it's going the same way as last season.
I hear it.
Where it's very inconsistent and up and down, and they'll be good enough to get top 4, but the team is for all its deficiencies, the team is better than it's showing as of right now.
And if any of the Chelsea fans in our circle, in our orbit, are saying Maresca out, I'm with them. Maresca out, get him out.
That's you. I don't have nothing against Chelsea, so I ain't really concerned. But hopefully they beat Liverpool in a couple of weeks. Hey, Lex in the chat, obviously it's United City show. Shout me, WhatsApp me, fam. If you got something to chat about, I'll set up a Q&A after this or something. Let me know.
So a couple things, because I want to be cognizant of time and a few things to kind of talk about. Obviously, your game, entertainment. Go watch that watch along if you guys didn't catch it. The result.
Hey, my watch alongs are more entertaining than Manchester United games for you, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. I don't have the audio on. Like I don't have the audio on to the game. I'll put on Sarcasm City TV. If I can, I'll do the playback, but usually it's Sarcasm City TV, and I just make sure it's all synced up. And this is where we're at, people. This is where United are at. But okay, let me give a trade secret.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I'll put your broadcast like 3-5 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
So that I can hear you guys being like, oh, or the emotion, and then I'll tune in and look at the TV. Yo, that is the TV. You put Sarcasm City TV and everybody in the chat, Eddie, Sheik, all of them end up. Just put them about 5 seconds ahead, and then hear the emotions, hear the cussing, hear the drama, and then tune in and see what happens on the screen. It is brilliant. But we talk Chelsea, we talk United, we talk City, Arsenal. The Ballon d'Or just happened yesterday.
I know you got stuff to say on this, so go on. The floor is yours.
Let me say, let's not be grumpy old men. Let's not be the fan. Be like, back in the day, these awards meant something. Back in the day, these players were deserving of it. Let's not be that. Listen, I know I got platinums, but I'm not going to be the grumpy old man on the porch telling you to get off my lawn. This award, however it's structured, is to recognize the talent out in the world today. And you may disagree with the formula. You may disagree with how they determine who's who, but it's year after year after year. I'm hearing something again. I've got to get my studio back up. But over at CIA, sit at Intelligent Agendas, we don't do the laziness. We don't say, this is just a popularity contest, stop it. We don't also say that the award winners this year aren't as good footballers like back in the day. It's the players of today, right? And I find it so beautiful. I find it so entertaining that the same fans that say this award don't mean anything are also still doing watch-alongs or watching with so much anticipation when it's their player. Stop being hypocrites out there. Stop being fraudulent. Stop doing it. We know when it comes down to recognition, we all want it for our player. We all want it for our club. Don't be dismissive. Don't be the grumpy old man or grumpy old lady with regards to this award. Now, I thought it was interesting when we looked at who ended up being the winner. And I'll be the first to say, from a football standpoint, for what you want to kind of teach the kids, I'm an elder, you want an example like Dembele. You want a player that many would have written off. Many said, oh, talent didn't apply it. Want to say didn't have the mentality. You want that player that's been written off by everybody, turning it around and succeeding. I love his story. I love the season that he was able to have. And I think it's important, for as much as we want to go and bat for certain players or bat for our players or whatever it is, you can't write a player off until their career is over. You can't do that. And Dembele had tremendous promise. Yeah, he didn't have the projection of what it meant to be when he first was doing his thing, but to win Ballon d'Or, more than deserving of it. And
yeah, he was the right winner. He was the best player in Europe, in my opinion, last season. 100%.
Absolutely. And what he did last season was brilliant.
What?
those that want to hate because their players didn't finish higher, stop it. Stop it. The formula hasn't changed. Don't say this Ballon d'Or has been ruined because of Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. They didn't ruin this award. This award isn't just based on Champions League, which some of you want to say, oh, when you win the Champions League, you win the Ballon d'Or. No, not solely. And you know why I can say that? Because my player won the Ballon d'Or in a year where he didn't win Champions League. It's about what you do for the entire year. And now you might want to earmuff this, Liverpool fans, because a lot of you have been crying and saying this award means nothing because your man, with the season that he had, didn't finish higher. Higher than what? He was, in my opinion, generous to finish where he finished. That was a generous fourth. So stop with this. This award means nothing because your man didn't finish higher. If you wanted him to finish higher, you know what he should have done? What he needed to do is not hear me. I'm going to speak slow and loud. Not have only won the Prem. You are not going to be the player of the year when you only win one trophy. I know you won your league, but you got to do more than that. And you got to show up in those other competitions, even if you don't happen to win it. Salah fell off. Point blank, period. Don't try to remix it, Liverpool fans. Don't try to say this is ruined. He did not do enough. He had a great season. I'll be the first to say it. Record-setting season, right? And I have to point out that he did not deliver on any other domestic trophy. He did not deliver when it mattered with regards to Champions League. And when it came down to matching him up versus who ended up winning it, did Liverpool not lose to PSG? Did Liverpool not lose to the player that ended up being Ballon d'Or? I think fourth place was generous to Salah. I know you guys, I know a lot of Liverpool fans are hurt. I know they're vexed. I know they're like, if it wasn't this season, it's never happening. Because let's all know this. And what time is it? It's 8:44 my time out here in Toronto. As of today, we know that Mo Salah is not replicating any season anywhere close to what he did last year. His Ballon d'Or dreams, done and dusted. Brilliant career. But the Ballon d'Or wasn't meant to be for him. It was not meant to be for him. And the same way why I can speak so confidently and can tell you Liverpool fans just to chill and relax is because my player, Erling Haaland, who broke Mo Salah's goal scoring record. And when he broke the record, he actually won the Prem in doing it. It wasn't empty calories. But when Erling Haaland broke the goal scoring record, he also delivered late in that season a Champions League. And he delivered late in that season an FA Cup. So those were 3 trophies that he did and still didn't win the Ballon d'Or. How are you in your right mind going to look?
You won it that year? You won it that year? Was it Vinny?
No, Messi won it.
Oh, Messi won. Oh, geez, yeah, that's a robbery. That. So go.
No, and that happens, right? It happens. But when you look at the tally, when you look at the list of accomplishments, when you look at the record setting, when you look at what he brought to English football that was never seen before since Manchester United, with Flawless likes to remind us of, he fell short and didn't win Ballon d'Or. There's no way that record-setting, only winning the Prem Salah was going to finish higher than 4th. Let's be consistent here. So that's the one thing I wanted to kind of say. This type of information, Flawless, this type of perspective, this type of truth. This truth doesn't get exposed on other channels. We saw that firsthand yesterday. When the truth is trying to be spoken, they silence you. They speak over you. They get other panel members wanting to defend. So this is why Sarcasm City TV, Mandem United meets Mandem City is so important. We get to talk freely. We get to make these points clear. Now, I'm going to leave the Verts talk for another time. All right? Liverpool fans are a little too upset. They're a little too sensitive. But I'm not going to say it. I'm already hearing them themselves. I'm hearing Liverpool fans themselves say, you know what? Verts needs to fix up. They're saying Verts does need to step up. And I'm not even doing too much. I'm just trying to be consistent. And we're allowed to be consistent over here on Sarcasm City TV. You'll get me silence on those other shows. It's the other shows. But over here, you'll hear it uninterrupted. Yo, Flawless. I got to drop, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna try and
go.
I'm gonna try and if I can get my studio up, because this whole Windows 11 is madness. I'm gonna try and get things going and actually do a show tomorrow as well as on Friday. But if we're able to link up, because are you doing any watch alongs for the League Cup?
Nah, the game I'm not doing any games tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for you. Wednesday, no. Thursday, I'm doing the Barcelona game in La Liga. And then weekend, obviously the Brentford United game. It's the Madrid derby, so I'm doing that. That's the 3 p.m. kick I'm doing. Then the 5:30, I think, is Forest and Sunderland. And then the 8 p.m. is Tottenham Wolves. Then I'm doing the 2-game Sunday as well. The Villa Fulham and the Sunday game. The Sunday game.
I'm going to do my best to try and link up again.
Just shout me and we'll sort it out 110%.
Well, bless everybody.
Before you move on, just a quick question. Have you bought EAFC 26 yet? Is it out there?
It comes out, well, for me, technically, it comes out at midnight.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. What console are you on again? What console are you on? D5. Okay. All right. You need to link up with that. But shout out your channel. Let them know what you got coming up, all that good stuff, man, for the rest of the week. I know you're trying to sort out your technical difficulties.
First things first, I got to say, this is the channel to be on. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Be a part of the show in the comments. I'm on location right now. I'm in the kitchen because tonight had to be a cooking. We didn't even really talk. I didn't really talk. I could have gone in with regards to the consistency that I'm seeing from Doku, but I left it alone. I left
Doku played very well against Arsenal. I'll say that. We didn't get there. I'm surprised you didn't bring it up first and have Doku on your t-shirt or on the back of your shirt, but Doku played very well against Arsenal. And that's the type of performance I'm talking about. Even though you drop points, even if you would have lost it and he put in that performance, you can still play well in a loss or a drop.
Yeah,
he played very well. He played very, very well.
Everybody, that's why you subscribe to this channel. Flawless can be fair when he wants to be, and he's being fair right now with regards to Doku. I'm gonna also, I left Verts alone, I left Doku alone. We'll have that conversation to have next time. On location in the kitchen. I'm probably not gonna do this often, but I hope you enjoyed it. This angle's kind of messed up because I had to put some things on the floor, keep the counter clean. I'm gonna do my best to be in studio, and also listen. It's a long season. It's a long season, so we can take our shots now. We can do what we gotta do, but one thing is clear. This needs to be a title-challenging season. It needs to be, and if Arsenal aren't gonna step up, it looks like Chelsea aren't stepping up. Even though this rebuild isn't done yet, looks like City's got to make it happen. So let me get healthy.
Hey, Warrior J, ask him again quick before Vader's going to. He's got to go if I miss your questions. What is it? Go and ask it real quick. And Sai in the chat, yo, Sai, you about? I might run some GTA after this. Let me know if you're about, Sai. Big up Sai in the chat. Run up the likes, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to Vader Games TV. The link's in the title, people. Link is in the title. Yeah, Warrior J, ask your question again real quick. And I will do. Big up Chinlu. Says big up Flawless Vader in the chat. Was on Saeed's EAFC 26 stream. Man bottled a 4-2 lead to draw 4-4. Well, at least he's not getting packed in 7, 8, 9s. That's a positive. I thought he was going to say he was leading 4-2 and then he lost 8-4 or something like that. Where he says thoughts on I think he mentioned the Kusanov injury about how it's how well he was playing. Thoughts on the Huddersfield game?
Look, guys, I don't want to be disrespectful, but these early stages in terms of these League Cups, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. This is a different side of Manchester. I'm kind of looking past this matchup. The injury to Kusanov, though, crucial. It's actually kind of devastating because you want a player to get consistency, especially playing out of position. He's a center back. Let me be real. He is a center back, and he's playing that right back because that's what we need. That's what Pep's asking of. And honestly, all our right backs aren't true right backs. You got Mateus Nunes, you got Rico Lewis, and you got Kusanov. They're not right backs. when we want to talk about transfer windows and what we should have signed, what the club should have done, they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't see value at the right back position to get it this time around. We're making do. I need him healthy. It's going to be interesting what Pep does without him, and I hope he doesn't rush him back. But we should be able to win our next game without him.
I'm sure you should be able to beat Huddersfield without him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Warrior J, big up. But hey, Vega, blessings, man. I'll catch up with you. Let me know about the weekend. Just send me a message. We'll sort something out. 100%.
We'll do, man.
100%. You already know.
Bless everybody.
Big up, man. Every single time. You lot, make sure you subscribe to Vega, man. Super entertaining. Subscribe to his channel. No need to apologize, sir. I was just asking because I was going to run something. But if you're not about, no stress whatsoever. I need to get back active on the gaming channel. I suppose I would have to get the AFC at some point as well. I even know. He's actually out in the UK, people. Let me know. Is it actually out in the UK? All right. Let's see what's what. Boom. All right. For you lot, final few questions before I do indeed close out myself. Apologies you didn't get the Man United earlier. One, there wasn't really too much to talk about with Manchester United. And two, I was knackered as well because family first, so on uncle duties and all that. So that's what that is. But obviously, we're going to keep the content rolling. Make sure you subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV Clips YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Clips channel, people. Subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV Gaming YouTube channel. The Clips channel, not only is there clips there, funniest and best moments from the main channel, watch-alongs also go down there. So we did Levante versus Real Madrid. The Barcelona game on Thursday will be on there. The Premier League games outside of the Manchester United matches will be on there. Madrid Derby will be on there as well, people. So, and make sure you subscribe to the gaming channel as well. Because I know how much, I've already been asked a couple of times about EAFC, so I'm going to have to copy it. I'm going to have to get it and start playing it, etc. So, I know you lot want streams, run some pro clubs. Got a couple of my duns on pro clubs who was telling me about it as well. Even though they messed up the pro clubs thing, it's like, what's wrong with them? What games am I doing on Saturday on the Clips channel? The Madrid Derby, Forest Sunderland, and Tottenham Wolves. They're the three. They're the three. So it's out. 26th of September, all my editions are already. But you lot continue to run up the likes. Over 40 of you lot in the building. I'm only at 35 likes. 5 more likes, man. Get us up to 40 likes, people. And hit the subscribe button on the channel. Hit the notification bell as well. Let's see what else you lot are saying. What's going on? Guna G, that was crazy. By the way, Flawless Crab yesterday, man of the match. Crab was here earlier. Shout out to Crab. He was in the chat. But I've mentioned it already. I've expressed it many a time about Manchester United's performance against Chelsea. But we got the win, and that's not the main thing, but that's the most important thing. But that performance is nothing to shout about. There's nothing sustainable as well. And thankfully, Maresca absolutely had a horrendous performance. We on to Brentford next, away, early kickoff. We're not winning, I'll say that much. I don't think we lose. I actually genuinely think it'll be a draw, but stylistically, they're all wrong for us. The way they fly forward is all wrong for us. The pace that they play the game at, the intensity, the way they fly with men forward, etc. And then the long throws as well. The long throws, all their other set pieces, problems. Casemiro missing, who's aerially one of our better players as well when it comes to defending set pieces, is not playing either. So that in there lies a problem. It's like, Jesus. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. That's what I say about that, people. That's what I say about that. So we'll see what go on. All right, we're going to close out. Saeed's still alive. I just checked and he was saying that he's still alive. Let me double check. He's still alive. Yeah, he's in his career mode bag. Good to see you, man, gaming. I was over at K watching, yo. When I'm saying Saeed out, I'm just seeing it in the chat. You're the issue. You sounded like Amorim, bro. That's what that's just the comment. Let's say don't quit practice. What's he saying? Oh, he's getting packed up. 7-1 and that. Saeed is getting yeah. Saeed's getting packed up. Go off topic question. Saying Liverpool not playing well but winning, is it not sustainable? But who's playing to their standard in these first games? Probably Bournemouth, I'd say. And Bournemouth are playing well. I think Palace, you said to their standards, I put Palace in that mix as well, but most are not. Most teams, most of the better teams are not, is what I'd say. That's what I'd say. Well, I'd say Bournemouth. Yeah, I put Bournemouth and Palace. Sunderland. From what I've heard, I've not watched Sunderland like that, but they're the three up to their standard. Everton, when I've watched them, have been around their standard, even though it's not the greatest. But yeah, we are going to close out. Big up the love to everyone that's locked in. We're going to redirect over to Saeed. He's currently losing 7-1, people. Yeah, I might go live on the gaming channel. Maybe. Might go live on the gaming channel. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, we're going to redirect to Saeed and we're going to go watch that. But run up the likes here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell as well. Don't forget, subscribe to the Clips channel, Sarcasm City TV. Subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV Gaming YouTube channel as well. And don't forget, this show and all the other shows on the channel are available on all audio platforms as well. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. Big up Sides, big up Flawless, and fuck Liverpool. I hear you on that. And fuck City, and fuck Leeds United, and Arsenal. I hear it, man. So yes, love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the Manchester United, Manchester City podcast. Man Them United pod meets the Man Them City pod live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Big up to everyone supporting. And Sarcasm City TV raid in Saeed's chat. So